So I got the blonde hair, I got the blue eyes. I think I just need like a mesh orange shirt, maybe some green pants and some boots, and definitely a trident. Oh, hey there. I didn't see you come in. This is the Layman's Guide to the Multiverse.
Welcome to the Layman's Guide to the Multiverse, where we dive through the panels and surf through the fourth wall to answer all of your comic book questions. I'm Doug, and joining me is...
I'm Paolo.
I'm Ed.
And I'm Matt.
That's all the people. So
See, I like what you
let's
did. I like
go.
what you did there. I like what you did there with this intro, changing it to surf because we're going to talk about Aquaman.
Oh man, I thought we were doing Merman and Barnacle Boy.
Aw, we're missing out.
Evil!
Oh, we're getting wet today, boys. So Matt, what do you know about Aquaman?
Oh man, there was that GameCube game,
Okay.
Aquaman
Uh-huh.
for the
For the GameCube.
for the GameCube.
What? I didn't even know
Wait.
Aquaman had a game.
Yeah, dude.
Wait,
Yeah.
seriously?
Yeah.
You did?
It came out back in the dark days of the GameCube when like Nintendo was desperate for games, so
So they
everybody.
licensed
They were like,
Aquaman.
yo, Warner Brothers.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
It's the Aquaman.
Yeah. My question was going to be, you mean always? Because they had Mario, Zelda, and Pikmin,
And Aquaman.
and Smash Brothers.
I think the game was developed
Why
by
is
Acclaim,
Aquaman
but-
not in Smash?
Ooh, I really want Aquaman for Smash.
No, but it was the kind of thing where, like at the time, there was. Remember the second Charlie's Angels movie?
No.
Yeah, no, exactly,
I do.
exactly.
No.
I do.
The movie was total butt, and they announced a game. The developers they announced the game coming from the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. The GameCube was so desperate for games, and the game was so bad that when Sony Quality Assurance got their hands on Charlie's Angels Reloaded, they refused to release it to their console.
Wow.
Nintendo was so desperate for games, they allowed it.
Wow.
So
And-
are you telling me that Aquaman is the Charlie's Angels 2 of superheroes?
Yes.
Not exactly.
Is Arthur Curry Bosley or one of the angels?
Ooh.
uh,
Is Arthur Curry anything like coconut shrimp curry?
I thought we were going to take this to Tim Curry.
Ooh.
A transsexual Aquaman from transsexual Aqualand. Atlantia? Why
Oh
not?
my God.
Matt, stop ruining my meal.
What are you eating? Fish?
Arthur Curry.
Hi-yo.
Hey!
Da 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 da. Cannibalism.
Matt, what do you know about Aquaman?
Yes, please, let's talk about Aquaman. Like I said, all I know is that horrible GameCube game, which was hilarious to read the reviews for because they were all universally terrible. I remember he was kind of a chump in the Super Friends cartoon.
A chump or a chum?
Oh, god damn you. No, there's only one chum in superheroes, and that's Robin.
You stop with the fish jokes. All right, stop it.
Don't
Fish
don't-
jokes.
You're not my boss, Paulo.
Not yet. But when Paulo becomes CEO of Layman's Guide to the Multiverse LLC. Doug, you are so fired. He's gonna remember this.
No, he's not gonna fire me. He's
Oh.
gonna make me an intern.
Oh, your annual review is gonna be terrible.
It will be.
Oh, but that's where I am with Aquaman because, like I said, he was kind of the butt of all the jokes. I remember.
He still is.
Kind of growing
He
up.
still
Yeah.
is.
He still is. Even though he's a badass, but he's still the butt of all the jokes.
It kills
Well,
me that he's actually such a fucking badass.
It really is.
Because
Well, they
oh, go ahead. I'm
they,
sorry.
they got that Jason Momoa guy to play him, and they like you know what it is. I feel like it's kind of like remember Ricky Martin back in the '90s.
Oh, who could forget?
He did like Live in La Vida Loca, and everyone looks at him and
Matt,
he goes,
I'm still living La Vida Loca.
Yeah. I try to forget him, but I can't. He haunts my dreams.
Well, that was the funny thing. It's like that song was freaking everywhere, and everyone's looking at him and goes, "Okay, there is no straight guy on the face of the planet that could dance like that and wear pants like that." And like for his next hit, I think it was She Bangs. He just like, no, we got to kill this. Any hint that he's possibly gay, and then like the next video, it's just nonstop half naked chicks dancing around with him, which kind of did the opposite and made him look even gayer.
Right, because he's super gay.
Well, and that came out like 15 years
So
later.
how does this relate to Aquaman?
Because by hiring that badass looking mofo Jason Momoa to play him, I feel like they're compensating for the lameness that is Aquaman, or the perceived lameness of Aquaman, having never read a comic book and just going off of the shitty GameCube game and lame cartoon.
Hold on, ironically, the Jeff Johns run, which kind of brought us the modern day Aquaman, as it were, because Jeff Johns, for whatever reason, they give him anything to write and he remodernizes it for our current society.
That guy does a good job with that.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job with Aquaman. One of the main things about that was Aquaman was walking around living his normal life, and people were just like, "Oh, you're Aquaman, man. You're like kind of a joke.
You fucking suck, bro.
You fucking suck, bro." And he's just like, "Yeah, I know. I know you guys think I suck." And then the motherfucker picks up
whatever, I guess.
And then the motherfucker picks up saves like a bunch of people from like this typhoon of evil monsters. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
He's fucking James Cameron in the Mariana Trench monsters. Like,
I'm just remembering that.
thank you, Jason Momoa. You saved me from the Matrix.
I'm just remembering that New 52 appearance where he goes to that seafood restaurant and people are making fun of him. He's like, "Don't you talk to those fish?" And he's like, "I don't talk to them. I command them."
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That's
that's
the
the Jeff Johns run he's talking about. Yeah,
but what's so badass about commanding fish? I mean,
Okay, so-
Superman fights in the middle of
Hold on.
Kansas.
So, so the whole
yeah, you can't bring fish to Kansas, Paolo. Like,
yeah, like he's like, he's gonna like Aquaman and Superman are gonna duke it out, and all of a sudden Aquaman's like, "Wait a second," he pulls out a fucking aquarium. You're fucked out, buddy.
Actually,
You can bring a fish
to
to
the Kansas aquarium.
You can bring a fish to Kansas, but you can't make it drink.
He brings him to the Smallville aquarium, and he's like, "Get fucked, Kryptonian. Suck my dick, you alien bitch." Dick smack you a little with Finding Nemo. It's the real DreamWorks.
Oh my god.
Listen, like I said, I don't know. Personally, he's not that bad.
Who, Aquaman?
No, he's
not.
Adam West Batman?
Wait, what?
Adam West Batman? What are you talking about here?
Aquaman.
Yeah, we're talking about Aquaman. No. Aquaman's not so bad. It's just that his costume's so bad that it makes us think he's terrible.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why, if you notice, it's not until he got his own movie that they actually gave him the orange costume, because I think it took them that long to figure out how the fuck to make a good-looking orange, scale shirt.
I'd argue that he's had a good, he's had a pretty solid design for the past 10 years or so.
No,
I would disagree. Frankly, okay, granted, they didn't need to give him the hook hand or the water hand, which we'll get into, but his 90s costume was perfect. And then the one where he didn't have an orange scaled shirt.
Because once they gave him the water hand, I think they did away with the shirt again too. Like they just took the chainmail shirt. We're like, man, you don't fucking need that shit.
Right. And the thing is without that orange shirt and the green briefs, he looks badass.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they felt the need to go back to that.
Because it's iconic, quote unquote. I mean, you can't see any finger quotes here.
Fuck the icons. It's stupid.
I mean, I love Superman, right? I love that character.
Yeah,
he's
better
no
without
reason,
the red briefs.
There is no reason he's wearing red underwear.
Right. They got rid of it and they brought it back.
Well,
why?
Because they brought it back because they were like, "Oh, we just got Brian Michael Bendis from Marvel, so let's just give him everything. Also, do what you want with Superman." And he's like, "Let's bring back the tights." Why not?
Well, Brian Michael Bendis is famous for killing things, so why can't we just have him kill off the red briefs?
They were already gone. That's the thing.
Well, he can resurrect them, but can he kill them off again?
I mean, why bring them back in the first place? I thought
To make the death more poignant.
I thought the Superman rebirth costume was probably the best Superman costume we ever had.
Yeah, because it was Superman without the red briefs.
Yeah.
And if you take away the red briefs, his costume's perfect.
Come to think, I don't even think the Nick Cage Superman costume had red briefs.
I don't think it did either.
Yeah.
No, the original costume. Did it have? No, I don't remember. Now I'm drawing a blank.
I mean, Google exists, guys. That's something we can do.
That is
But-
something we could do.
I don't want to look at it, though.
Are you saying you're uncomfortable looking at briefs?
No, I'm uncomfortable looking at Nick Cage.
I could eat peach for hours.
That's 2 weeks in a row you've made that joke, Ed.
It's okay.
But it's Nick Cage. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, did you just say Snake Cage?
No, it's Nick Cage.
Snake Cage is amazing.
It's
What are you
Snake
talking
Cage.
about?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty
Snake
sure,
Cage?
I'm pretty sure Snake Cage is an American gladiator. Like Laser and like Amazon and Snake Cage.
But no, going back to the whole iconic thing, I get in the movie why they decided to go that route.
It works for Jason Momoa.
And it does work for Jason Momoa. Like he
Because
actually,
Jason Momoa can make anything work. He's the manliest man that has ever manned.
I don't know about all that.
I mean,
Well,
that's
he's pretty close.
Listen,
Definitely not on the Jason Momoa train. I mean, like,
really.
I definitely wish I had those abs. I'll give you that one.
I mean, everybody wants those abs.
I wish
Women
I
included.
had his everything. His wealth, his looks, his abs,
crippling
his
drug
pecs.
addiction.
Wait, does he have?
No, I'm fucking with you.
Oh, I don't know Jason Momoa that well.
Why would you want his? Why do you want his everything?
Well, I remember when he
You better have
did
gonorrhea.
when he did what's it called? Stargate. Ironically enough, Stargate Atlantis.
Oh,
Hey,
I completely forgot that he did Stargate Atlantis, which kind of works out in terms of now he's King of Atlantis. Get it? Ah, no, that was terrible.
Speaking of King of
Ha!
Atlantis, can we go into the whole Aquaman origins thing? Because like he's not like most other superheroes, is he? Where like he wasn't bit by a radioactive fish or something.
I
like
wish
that,
he was
he?
bit by a radioactive seahorse.
No,
man.
I believe he was just
Aquaman.
birthed. Like, hey, I'm half Atlantean and half human, but also I'm stronger than all the Atlanteans for some reason.
That is because due to his perhaps human physiology. Remember, he's
Yes.
so his mom is the Queen of Atlantis. Okay, she is in like this big fight. I forget who she's fighting. There's almost like a coup in the kingdom, and
Didn't
she.
they retcon? I'm sorry to cut you off, but didn't they retcon his origin to have like his mom was in like was at war with like Mera's people or something?
I think so.
Right.
So if everybody's wondering who the hell Mera is Aquaman's wife.
Yeah, they had a kid.
They had a
And she's
kid.
badass.
Yeah, she's also a badass. Actually, some would argue that she is more badass than Aquaman because
Dude, she's
everyone
badass. Fucking
everyone
Aqualad's
who
a badass.
knows.
Like most of Aquaman's supporting cast are fucking awesome.
they really
Yeah.
are though. They really are though.
And everyone who knows Mera, there's no argument. Mera is much more badass than
No,
Aquaman.
it's true. It's true. I'm trying. Listen, this is an Aquaman episode. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
No, that's fair.
So-
I'm just trying to spout Mera's accomplishments, and her accomplishment is being fucking
We
badass.
will get to her accomplishments. Just let
Oh.
Aquaman shine for a minute.
Let him finish.
God.
So anyway though, so there's Atlanteans. So he's half human, half Atlantis. What are they called again?
Atlanteans.
Atlantean.
Atlantean.
Arguably, someone
He's
from
half
Atlanta
he's
could be
half
called
human,
that.
half from Atlanta. I'm not. Oh, that came out really bad. I'm sorry, guys.
so like what are like the Atlanteans? Are they like mermaids or something like that?
No, the Atlanteans are the same people that we know Atlanteans as in terms of what we think about them mythologically. Is Atlantis was a city that was far more advanced than everyone else for its time, and there was a great cataclysm, and the city was brought down under the ocean. Through great magics, the people were kept safe, but they adapted to their new environment, made safe, and as a result of having to live under those conditions, being far deeper down underwater, there's a lot more pressure. They actually evolved to be stronger than humans by default.
Like that Disney movie Atlantis.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even
That
gonna.
movie's really
That movie
good.
is really good.
I'm not familiar with that movie.
You haven't seen
You should-
Atlantis? The Lost City of
No,
Atlantis?
I haven't.
It's
heard
really
of
good.
it.
It's one of the, like those movies that Disney did in like the late 90s, early 2000s that nobody
Like
watched.
sleeper hits, yeah.
I've never even heard
Like
of
Treasure Planet.
Yeah, that was good
Heard
too.
that one was
it.
good.
Wait, was that one that came out a couple years ago?
No,
No.
this is like 2000. and
No, Treasure
2001.
Planet. I meant.
No, that was like 2001,
Yeah.
I think.
Anyway, no. So, the Atlanteans, they are stronger than regular humans. They've adapted to their environment. They can breathe underwater.
And that's also a more recent addition to the character, because originally he was just like, if he was out of water, he was just like a regular dude. They gave him that extra, like he's like above peak human, I think. I mean, like he can lift like 30 tons or something.
No,
like
he can
that.
lift a lot.
No.
Is it
Oh,
more
he
than that?
li-
A lot
no,
more than
much
that.
more.
A lot more. He's almost on par with Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh,
like
dang.
on the surface, like he has literally lifted like a 10-story building.
Aquaman ain't fucking around.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
no,
Like,
he ain't.
he actually is a very powerful character.
Yeah, which is I actually went on a tangent briefly to the granted terrible Marvel versus DC storyline of the 90s.
Oh, excuse you. As a kid, I love that.
Yeah, we all did because we were kids. But okay, so in the Marvel vs. DC storyline, they had 5 fights that fans got to vote for.
Yeah.
But they also had a bunch of fights that were not voted for, and they just decided who would win each fight.
Okay.
And they had a Namor versus Aquaman
We've
fight.
talked about this, and it's beautiful, and I love it.
Yeah, and
And it's canon.
the thing-
Screw you.
it is, and the thing is at that time, I was under that impression that most people are that Aquaman's just this fucking wuss who can talk to fish.
Yep. Spoilers. He's not.
Yeah. So he fights Namor, and the whole time I'm thinking Namor is going to fuck his shit up.
I mean, he should, honestly.
That's what I thought.
What?
And granted, the end of that fight is still bullshit because the end of the fight was Aquaman called an orca to belly flop onto Namor,
Yeah.
and I'm like, an orca weighs like what 4 or 5 tons.
Sure.
Namor can bend to over 100.
Mhm.
That would be like a little slap to him.
Yeah.
But in the comics, they knocked him out.
It's because Namor is a jobber.
Yeah, and also that orca whale is super stealthy. He got backstab sneak attack damage, bro. That's like 12d6 times 2. Come on.
Yeah, 12d6 whale damage. And I guess the point I was making was that I was so mad at that ending, and also that I thought Aquaman was weak, that I'm like, oh my god, Namor should have won that fight hands down. And then I got older and I started reading more DC comics, and I realized, oh wow, Aquaman just could have fucking punched the shit out of Namor and knocked him out.
All right, so I'm looking up right now
Mhm.
what some people have kind of done math on. He's about 150 times stronger than the human maximum.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
That
Damn.
Wait, no, that's nothing though. He's way stronger than that.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's outside of water.
I know.
inside
he's-
inside of water, he can lift buildings.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say, inside
What
water,
thing is,
Aquaman
Aquaman's-
is terrifying.
yeah, but outside of water, Aquaman has literally lifted buildings.
He's as strong as Wonder Woman. He's held.
Yeah.
He is skilled enough in hand-to-hand combat and strong enough to fight Wonder Woman.
I mean, there's a
Mm-hmm.
fight in the most recent Justice League run, Scott Snyder's run. I want
Wait, what?
in Scott Snyder's Justice League run.
Oh,
Scott, I
I
heard you say Scott
Yeah,
Steiner.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well,
I have a
Aquaman.
33 and 1/3 chance of being a Superman, and when you combine that with my 33 and 1/3 chance of being Batman, I have a 77% chance of beating Namor.
And Kurt, he knows.
And he knows.
He does
Get
know.
my picks. Get my picks. He's like, I'm a black man. You're trying to run away, but you can't because you're fat asses.
now I'm just imagining Aquaman, but instead of the long flowing blonde hair,
He's just
he's
Scott
got the
Steiner.
green scales. He's got the green scales on
And
his
he's
head.
got that little black soul patch.
They get rid of his, they get rid of his orange chainmail shirt. They give him that shitty chest tattoo. Oh, Aquaman's the best now.
This is our best episode ever, clearly.
Yo. So when does Aquaman turn NWO Wolfpack?
Oh my god. Well, okay. so
Too sweet.
right now in the Justice League comics, at the time of this recording, there's a bunch of space sea monsters and like ancient elder gods that have been summoned like out of the deep, and they have drowned
They're-
Earth.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I wasn't talking about Drowned Earth. I was gonna go back a couple issues. I want to say that Black Mana and
Cheetah.
Tigress, Cheetah. There we go. I want to say they hit Wonder Woman and Aquaman with like a new strain of Scarecrow's fear gas or something. Or maybe it was Joker Venom. I totally forget. They hit him with something, and Aquaman and Wonder Woman think they're fighting Black Mana and Cheetah.
Oh,
Or
and they're
not,
fighting each other.
They're fighting each other, and they're throwing down like their lives depend on it.
Yes,
Oh,
because they're
jeez.
fighting each other at that point.
Yeah. And I want to say that they're taunting the Flash like, you should go help your friends. Oh wait, you can't, because we stole your speed. Like, just
Oh, that was
stand
what the
like
whole
a
thing with
bitch.
Gorilla Grodd.
Oh,
With the baby.
Oh, is that the Still Force?
yeah, the Still
Yeah, yeah.
Force.
Yeah, without diving into that, that's a whole nother thing. But like, I don't know,
Yeah.
that whole scene's pretty funny because they're just like, hey Barry, help out your friends. Oh, you fucking can't.
Just
I'm just surprised that they didn't notice, because even under mind control, like Wonder Woman should realize, hey, why is Cheetah 50 times stronger than she's ever been?
Oh man.
Well,
So
they might have gone through some issue, because that was the whole thing in that run, is they were going through a bunch of
Oh, everybody was going
Yeah.
through weird changes because the source wall's broken.
exactly.
well, before we get into that, man, I'm still trying to figure out. So Aquaman, he's half human, half Atlantean. So I don't know. I guess he's raised as an Atlantean. I guess.
No, he's actually raised as a human. His mom leaves him to protect him. He's supposed to be she doesn't want him involved in like whatever war they're currently fighting or whatever battles are currently happening.
Wait, hold the phone. Who the hell are they fighting in the bottom of the ocean?
Other Atlanteans.
Other
right?
Atlanteans, as well as a race of what were they? Kind of like these water elemental people, like people who control water, which are
isn't it
Mera's
like-
people.
Like water
Waterbenders.
shapers or
Yeah,
something?
they may as well be waterbenders, but that's literally what their powers is. They live in the elemental plane of water, which is has a connection to Atlantis because of the magics that were used to save Atlantis. And as a result, they interact. So
So is that how Aqualad / Tempest got his powers? Because like he has like water manipulation powers.
It depends on the Aqualad we're talking about. So now we've got the first Aqualad, who now goes by Tempest, and the new Aqualad, which is like I forget his actual. I forget that they have such weird names. Caldor.
There you go.
Yeah, the one from Young
Justice.
Justice.
Yes.
Oh,
from
I
Young
remember
Justice.
those stores.
No, so Caldor is, I believe he has a special pair of like handles that can pretty much at his mind with his mind he can control them to become like whatever weapon he wants.
So like a sword
Made out of
or at
water.
least- Yeah.
Ah,
Made out of,
So
it's a really
that's-
cool friggin' ability.
Yeah, that was
Sounds
the again, that was Jeff Johns going, I like this character from Young Justice. Let me throw a spin on him and put him in the comics.
Yep.
So yeah, he's a bit different. Like, so if you've seen the Young Justice cartoon, Caldor,
Which is great.
Yeah, oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing. Sing his
Um,
praise all the time.
But they only literally he does like we'll be talking about something else. It's like, bro, Young Justice, it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's one of those things. If you're familiar with that character from Young Justice, he's quite different in the comics, and he didn't really last very long in the New 52. Since DC started DC Rebirth, they've reintroduced him.
Is he
And,
dead already?
Is New 52 dead already?
No. Is
Caldor.
the Caldor dead already? Like
No.
you said he didn't last very long.
That version didn't last very long because then they kind of did like a soft reboot into Rebirth, like not
Ah,
really,
Gotcha.
but they reintroduced the character. Oh no, I'm sorry. Caldor showed up in the comics in Brightest Day, towards the end of Brightest Day, and then when they rebooted into the New 52, he was gone.
Well, I think we need to kind of clarify something first, because we're throwing a lot of
I just said
information.
a lot of things.
Yeah, and
Somebody,
Yeah, we're throwing a lot of terms out there.
Yeah, I
We're throwing a
realized
lot
that.
of terms
Yeah.
out there.
Somebody go back, explain that.
Apollo, you got this.
Okay, so the storyline Brightest Day is a storyline that happened in Green Lantern. Well, it was a side story of Green Lantern that spun out of the Blackest Night storyline, which is when they brought back a lot of the dead heroes of the DC universe.
Yeah.
which included the original Aqualad who is dead. Well, a lot of Aquaman
Oh,
characters
really? You don't
died.
say.
Yeah, a lot of
In the DC Murderverse? What?
yeah, no, right? No, if you think about it, a lot of these characters have died horrible deaths. But
Oh yeah.
actually, let's go back. Let's sidetrack. All right, let's go back to Matt's original question, which is the
you not
history
gonna
of
finish your thought?
Aquaman. No, because that requires so much of an explanation that I can take up a good half of the episode just explaining up until that point.
Is it a worthwhile read though for the listeners?
Yes,
Brightest
it
Day?
is. Brightest.
I thought Brightest Day is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good follow up to Blackest Night. I mean, I would
Yeah.
say read Blackest Night and then read Dark.
Blackest Night wasn't great though. Blackest Night was basically
Blackest
a
Night's
pretense to
fun.
bring It was fun.
How dare you?
but it-
How dare
Hey,
you?
hey, let me finish, Paulo. Blackest Night was a pretense to bring back like 6 or 7 of the major heroes that they had killed in the years prior. And the entire storyline, besides that pretense, was basically just a ripoff of Marvel Zombies.
Oh my God! Stop it!
I
Oh,
disagree
shut up! That
100%.
was. All right.
I'm sorry, how am I wrong?
You are completely wrong because they're not zombies in the essence of we're zombies, we bite you and we turn you into a zombie. That's not what happens.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What were they? They
No
were
zombies, please.
They were undead.
Oh my god.
And they would rip out your heart, and then they would turn you into zombies.
No, you got a
So,
Black
the
Lantern
only
ring.
different-
You got a. You're making
Yeah, but the
the
ol-
comparison
the only
of
difference-
of a zombie strain that actually like people were being bitten and
No.
dying. Like these were actual power rings that these people were getting and becoming Black
Yeah,
Lanterns.
but the thing is,
What was also kind
I'm
of
sorry,
neat
Paulo.
is that if you
Look at the story. Look at the story. What happened? Undead people fought living people, killed the living people, and then the living people came back as undead.
That's like saying The Walking Dead is every single ripoff of Marvel Zombies. Like that's
So
what
wait a
you're
second,
telling
wait
me.
a second.
That's your
So-
argument.
So because this is an Aquaman episode, this is kind of like in that Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Johnny
with-
Depp for Aquaman. Let's go.
Johnny,
Yes.
Johnny, listen, the Pirates of the Caribbean, that's all Marvel Zombies. That's all Marvel Zombies.
I mean, it is a Disney movie, so
There's zombies in that
it
fucking
ties
movie.
in.
You can argue all you want. I'm sorry.
Dude, you are
If we get pe-
wrong.
if
You
we
are
actually get people to
wrong.
listen
You
to
are
this-
all
no, no.
wrong
If
trying
we
to
get
say
people to
that
listen to
Marvel
this,
Zombies is
I
like the
think
end
more-
all be all.
No, I didn't say it was the end all be all. I just said it was the inspiration for this.
No, it was not.
Because they were intelligent zombies who killed people and brought people back as zombies.
Wait. So what you're telling me is that any intelligent zombie means that it's a ripoff of Marvel Zombies?
That's what you're
If you're
saying.
Are you trying to tell me-
superheroes-
Are you trying to tell me the movie Warm Blooded is just a ripoff of Marvel Zombies?
28 days later, Fido.
Okay, first off, they're all stupid zombies in those movies. But what I'm saying
No, they're
is
not.
That guy gets smart. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about the movie in Day of the Dead, the zombie that they kind of start to
Oh,
get to learn to speak English?
Yeah.
Bub.
Yeah.
Bub. But
Bub
it's not-
is totally retroactively a ripoff of Marvel Zombies.
Yes. I'm sorry. I hear Day of the Dead. All that comes to mind is that scene where the guy's getting ripped apart, going "Choke on it."
No, I'm sorry.
Love that movie.
It is totally my fault for assuming that intelligent undead superheroes who kill other superheroes to turn them into zombies is something like Marvel Zombies.
It's
I'm
not-
sorry,
it's
you're
not,
right.
Because
I'm completely
it's because
off
it is
base.
because it is entirely about the power rings. It has nothing to do with the zombies actually turn them into zombies.
You're not supposed to use the Z
I
word.
mean, what makes it interesting too is that like if you had died previously, Necron could just turn you.
Exactly.
Mhm. That was different. And I'm not saying it was a 100% copy, but I'm sorry. If you think there was no inspiration from Marvel Zombies and the huge sales success that Marvel Zombies was, then you are deluding yourselves.
You're wrong.
Doug, are you trying to tell me that the X-Men aren't a ripoff of the Doom Patrol?
No, they are.
My point is that like, dude, every comic book story's been told. Like,
No, okay, that's
and
fair.
it's in cycles. It's literally in cycles. Like,
Yeah, it's in cycles, and this came right
Like-
after Marvel Zombies.
Right, like,
Like,
right
okay,
after.
within 5 years.
Right
within
after?
5 years.
Oh my god.
Within 5 years.
that's
Gentlemen, I think we're going to need to take a quick break while we finish this argument.
Yeah, but Yeah, but that's the thing is, all they had was the words "black as night,"
And you take
and they decided
like
to
a
turn
story.
that into a zombie storyline.
Guys, also Blackest Night was a prophecy.
It was, but I'm saying
So
all
are prophecies,
they had
are prophecies
was the words
are
"blackest
prophecies
night."
the same thing as Marvel Zombies?
I'm sorry.
They're different undead because they don't eat flesh. In your face.
I'm sorry.
Mhm,
They
mhm.
eat emotions and rip hearts out.
That's not the same thing as eating flesh.
It's the same bullet they shot Tupac with. That's why he keeps releasing new albums every year.
Which is the same bullet they shot JFK with. Hold on. I think we got this.
It's a magic bullet.
Wait.
We proved it.
So I'm also sure that this bullet is the same bullet that Mark David Chapman used to shoot John Lennon.
Oh god, guys, we can't release this episode. They're gonna hunt us down.
Oh, I think we figured it out, guys.
Like, just let's all calm down for a second and
Incredibly
stop
calm.
yelling at each other. I know you are it, but let's.
Look, all I got to say was that I couldn't take Mortal Kombat seriously anymore after I learned Sub-Zero was a ripoff of Glacier.
And then Scorpion was like, "Sucker!" You saw Annihilation. It's not
It's
the
the it's the Black Ring accessing their memories and putting on a false persona.
it's
I
not
There's,
a
get.
there's zombie
I
non-binary. There's zombie non-binary. It's a spectrum of zombie.
There's no
I-
gender fluid.
Okay, that's pretty great, but
But this
I-
story is
I-
also super important to Aquaman. Because
I'm
guess
just
what?
saying-
They brought him back.
That
And then
is
when
how
they brought him back.
Yeah, that
He
is how they
remembered
brought
all
him
that
back.
shit. He had horrible
I-
fucking undead fish PED.
all I'm saying is
PTSD,
I
not
understand.
Just because it's similar doesn't mean they were like, oh man, 5 years ago, that Marvel Zombies thing, pff, let's just fucking rip that off. Like, I wasn't a part of that meeting. I don't know what they said. So when you're like, they clearly did that, I'm like, they clearly didn't. Because I wasn't a part of
I
that.
disagree because first off, how often have you seen intelligent zombies with full memories and their personalities intact?
Most of the D&D
As a
campaigns
storyline.
that
I just want to say that professional wrestling in the early 2000s was ruined for me because the WWE ripped off Goldberg with Gilbert, and I didn't like it anymore. And
Matt, I'm pretty sure Gilbert's just a ripoff of Marvel Zombies.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to argue that. You're right on that. Ed. Yeah, also, we've been arguing about the zombie thing for like 20 or 30 minutes.
All right, we can jump back in. Do you remember He-Man?
Ed's back.
The tequila in Tijuana. I remember He-Man. I have the pictures to prove it.
Oh, God.
Why is this evolved into us just doing Skeletor fucking voices?
So Matt, where were we? I know we were talking about Jason Momoa and Aquaman and that sweet Jack Daniels bottle he had.
Wait, what Jack Daniel bottles?
You don't remember the trailer for Justice League? That dude was like slamming that JD bottle.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
ocean.
Yeah,
He loves
He
his
was
Jack
pounding
Daniels.
that
Yeah,
shit.
it's like it's nothing for him because his physiology is different.
Right.
Mm. Got it,
Can he not get drunk, or is that one of those things that it just takes him a lot?
I cannot answer that specifically,
'Cause
I mean,
but
I know
mean-
like Wolverine, it takes a lot for him to get drunk, or he might not be able to anymore. I know like
no, he can. Wolverine has to like down a bottle of Jack, and like he'll get drunk for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Mm.
that's depressing.
That is really depressing. But okay, so going back to Aquaman. So yes, his powers
Yeah.
are generally super strength. He's got enhanced ability. He can swim. I think it was like up to 150 miles an hour. He can
Damn.
swim.
That's it?
Probably faster.
Probably faster, but like I said, I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah.
What else can he do? They're due to make a change to his telepathy. So now instead of making him just telepathic to sea life, he's just a telepath.
Yeah, they've explored that in a couple of different versions of him. That it's like, you know,
They have back in the '90s Morrison run.
Right. You're right.
Now,
Yeah,
now
he could since we all evolved from oceanic animals, like as our primordial ancestor, he could trigger parts of your brain that would cause seizures.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he can give
Okay.
people seizures.
because that
Yeah.
was always my thing about him. Like I was joking before, like how Superman's city, what's a Metropolis? It's supposed to be like a Kansas City kind of place, in the middle of the country, middle America. So like,
No, Metropolis is in like New York
oh really?
or New Jersey.
Yeah, you're thinking of Smallville.
Yeah. Smallville's where Superman.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I always assume Metropolis was like up the block from Smallville.
No, for some reason it's weird because New York City is a real city in the DC universe, but Gotham and Metropolis are both, I think, within like 50 or 60 miles of New York City, and they're all as big as New York City. I don't know how those cities that are so large get so close to each other.
Listen,
Wow.
I honestly don't know, but the comparison that I like to make is Metropolis is Midtown Manhattan on like a bright sunny day, and
You mentioned this, and it's a good analogy.
yes, and Gotham City is downtown Manhattan on like a shitty rainy day. Yeah.
You could only go there when it rains.
Yes. Clearly,
So-
only go there because it's always raining in Gotham. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So
All
okay,
right.
so modern Aquaman, he's not totally useless on land.
No.
No.
Let
no,
me
He's.
go ahead. I actually would like to bring out, if you guys don't mind,
I do
a moment of Aquaman's power being shown. Now, does anybody remember the '90s Superman story, Our Worlds at War?
I do. I like it. It's a good story.
Yeah. Now, after the last argument, please do not accuse me of anything, because this was a blatant and intentional ripoff, but I don't mind because, it was a classic ripoff, and they were trying to do it. Imperiex.
Are you just trying to tell me that our Worlds at War is just a Marvel Zombies ripoff?
No.
No zombies, for the love of God.
No, nothing to do with zombies.
Okay.
But
okay.
Imperiex was supposed to be a DC's representation of Galactus. It was admitted.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, but Imperiex had his Imperiex probes, which were kind of like heralds, but he had a lot more of them, and they were basically robotic as opposed to imbued with cosmic power.
So did he go to like
Robotic
Costco and get them in bulk? Like,
I guess he did.
I'm just
What-
imagining the probes from the movie Twister.
ooh.
No, the Imperiex probes are just like mini versions of Imperiex.
Okay. All right.
They were humanoid, but each one was super powerful. Like most heroes couldn't even touch them. Like Superman, I think, destroyed one. Doomsday destroyed one. Aquaman destroyed one. Granted, he did it under the sea, and he killed himself to do it. But Aquaman pierced one of them, the Imperiex probes, with his trident under the ocean, and it caused an explosion that killed him and the probe.
Is this before or after his hook hand?
After his hook hand, I think it was during his water hand. I think.
Actually, yeah. Speaking of that, what's the deal with the trident?
I don't think the trident has any special powers, does it?
If I recall correctly, it's actually one of the artifacts of Atlantis. It's supposed to hold quite a bit of magical power inside of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but what does it actually
It's
do?
if I recall correctly, it's nigh indestructible. That's why he can fight with it against like Wonder Woman with all her magical stuff. He can fight her with that.
Also, it did survive. He got killed by the explosion, but the trident was not damaged.
Gotcha.
It's the
So-
it's the Trident of Neptune.
Yeah,
Ah, right.
and
right.
which is funny because they call it a trident, but it literally has
It's
5
5
points.
Yeah, it's actually, like I said, it has magical powers. He can command parts of the sea, like he can make tidal waves and whirlpool. Apparently, he can control the weather with it as well. He can shoot lightning, and he can polymorph people.
Jesus.
Wait, what?
Nifty.
Okay, the last part I did not know about. Please tell me about
Neither
that.
did I. I'm actually like looking it up right now just so I know a little bit more. But it is in fact one of the 7 relics of Atlantis, and that's why it is a magical trident forged by
With 5 points.
Yeah, with 5 points. That's why it's so
Wouldn't
magical.
Should it be called a pentagent?
No,
Pentadent?
it's a quindent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Windent. But no, apparently it is a relic that is passed down and it chooses its wielder. And apparently Arthur Curry is the chosen to wield it currently.
Oh, so it's kind of like a Pokemon or something?
Wait a second. Who's Arthur Curry?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Oh, I didn't know he had a real name.
Yes. Oh my god. Did you?
We talked about it already.
I thought that was a joke about Arthur Treachers. I was like, oh, they must be making a joke about Arthur Treachers having a curry dish, I guess, because I've never been to one. Because I don't trust fast food seafood.
I wouldn't trust fast food seafood either. Oh my god.
Exactly. So that's why when you're saying like Arthur's curry, I'm like, oh, they
no. Arthur Curry is the human name of Aquaman.
Ah,
yes.
Okay.
So Arthur Curry.
Okay.
So like we mentioned before, in his origin story, his father is a lighthouse keeper. Thank you. Yes, he is a lighthouse keeper. He falls in love with Aquaman's mother when he saves her from where she washed up on the shore. They fall in love. They have sweet, sweet mersex, and and bing bam boom.
Wait, Mursex. So she is a mermaid.
No, she's an Atlantean. I said
okay.
I said mersex because mermen,
comedic
women.
effect.
Come on.
I'm just imagining for that to work, the mermaid would have to have the fish on the top side and the woman on the bottom side.
You don't know?
Otherwise,
I don't
hey, she could just lay the eggs and he could just jack off on them.
know. Oh.
Oh god.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, that's getting edited out.
So no, they fall in love. Arthur Curry is born. He grows up kind of hating his mother because she abandoned him and his father doesn't tell him.
Right.
Like his father, the whole point was his mom had told his father, keep him away from the sea. You don't want him to know his history because we want to keep him safe from everything that's going on. But eventually,
Right.
like he figures out his powers. He one day he's in the ocean. He realizes he's a lot stronger. He can swim a lot faster. And apparently, magically can communicate with the animals that are down there.
Got it.
Which is why originally he associated more with his Earth life than his sea life, and he had to adapt and kind of let the culture of his Atlantean half, wash over him. Not to make a pun. And he had to adapt to that, and then realize the importance he held in Atlantean society.
He's basically like he's like a Superman sort of deal, where he's like he's kind of the big deal of a Kryptonian, but he wouldn't know because it kind of got blown to shit before he was aware of anything.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't so much blown to shit. It's just he didn't know about it because it was under the water, and I don't think he knew he could go to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't we? So if I recall correctly, isn't Black Manta responsible for his father's death in the New 52 storyline?
That's before we even dive into any storylines. That's the other thing. Black Manta. Who the hell is he? I see. He looks like an evil, diver kind of guy.
No, you nailed him. You got it.
Because I just, it's the thing about Aquaman is I don't know what the thing about Atlantia and them fighting wars and shit like that. I just assume that they're just a bunch of people chilling under the sea and I don't know. I just assume he's probably like a polluter or something and I don't know. What?
I really want a Captain Planet Aquaman team up now.
I don't know. What the hell could you do to piss off the ocean? I'm just thinking I don't know, pollute it.
I mean, he does. That is exactly what happens.
The ocean's so mad now, bro.
I mean, that's not what Black Manta does, but yeah, he gets pissed off at polluters. He does.
So Black Manta is a pretty much exact that. He's an evil underwater diver. He is a criminal. He's plundering
the depths
pretty much. Yeah, to find treasure. And from what I recall, it's a kind of a family deal where his son also does this whole deal.
Hmm.
And if I recall correctly, so the initial reason that Aquaman like actually goes down to fight Black Manta is because during an attack, this fight spilled over where they were fighting against some Atlanteans that they were trying to steal technology from. And like I said, I'm going by the history that they wrote for the movie that they released, the animated movie that they released. I don't know if anyone saw that.
I actually didn't even know they released Aquaman.
They did, and it's actually really good.
I would like to see that now. Thank you for telling me.
I believe it is on my Plex if you need that. But,
I will check that out.
In either case, so they have a fight, and the first Black Manta, as it were, kills Arthur Curry's father. So Arthur Curry goes out for revenge, and in the process kills with the original Black Manta. So the Black Manta's son becomes Black Manta and starts for revenge and goes after Aquaman, Arthur Curry, and starts going after Atlanteans because he finds out that Arthur Curry is half Atlantean. Yeah, there's more of them.
Because this time it's personal.
Exactly.
So, and if I remember correctly, they touch on this at some point. I wish I could remember the story, but they touch on this at some point that like I want to say, and then this might be a little bit after Arthur Curry gets that water bearer hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say that they touch on the fact that the original Black Manta didn't he didn't mean to kill Arthur's dad. I want to say that like Arthur's dad was having a heart attack and he was trying to save him. I could be wrong and I could just be misremembering, but I want to say that they touch on this and like Black Manta spins this story to screw with Aquaman.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like the whole you killed my dad, so I'm like you killed my dad, so I'm killing you, and then like the son's like you killed my dad, so I'm gonna try to kill you. It's all for nothing.
Yeah. No,
It could be wrong.
Wow.
The actual hatred between Aquaman and Black Manta is legit. Like there is a lot of hate between them. He is by far his biggest villain, even more so. So, one of the I like to think of it as this way. There's a Lion King kind of story that goes on with the Atlantean throne because
he just can't wait to be king.
Yeah,
you're not wrong though.
So technically, because Aquaman is the firstborn son of Queen Atlanta, he's the rightful heir to the throne. But because he's missing and is half Atlantean, he's half human. Most Atlanteans don't respect him, and they want to follow his brother,
Ocean
Master, or as his real name is Orem.
That sounds like the name of a jet ski.
I know,
like a '90s jet ski that's like hot, like I don't know, pink or something. You know.
So Ocean Master commands the armies of Atlantia. Atlantia, right? Or am I? Atlantis. Why do I?
No, it's Atlanta. It's Atlanta, Georgia.
The king of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, no, he commands. So Ocean Master commands the armies, and he constantly wants to go to war with the surface world. Like that's his thing. I hate the humans. I hate the human world.
Oh, does he talk like that?
Yeah, that's how I imagine him.
Pretty much, yeah. No, he kind of does. Like seriously, he does not need a pretense. He's just like, hey, wait, is that a plastic bottle? War!
This. Oh, I was gonna go with the joke.
You know, it'd be great if he was really passive aggressive. He goes, "All right, fuck this shit," and he starts just figuring out ways to launch garbage into the surface world.
He's drowned entire cities.
Yeah,
he's drowned entire cities.
Wasn't he the bad guy behind? I want to say that's the second Justice League New 52 storyline.
Yes,
he was.
I think it was the Throne of Atlantis story where and I want to say this is where this is the story where Arthur Curry gets the trident with 5 prongs that we were just talking about.
Yes. And he basically has to go like, "Hey, you get back down to the water."
That's actually the basis where you get the background story of Aquaman, and that story in the movie
Justice League War for Atlantis. I know War for the Throne.
something like that. Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up right now because it's
'cause
actually
there's Justice League. There's Justice League War, and then Justice League Throne of Atlantis. Throne of Atlantis.
Throne of Atlantis. Yes.
Yes. So there's
Yes.
Justice League War, Justice League Throne of Atlantis.
Throne of Atlantia, Georgia.
Almost. But to compound what you were saying before about Black Manta being his greatest villain, I didn't really want to cut you off, and I didn't want to derail that because I do like what we were just talking about. But to compound what you were saying about Black Manta being his greatest foe, once Aquaman gets the water bearer hand, and we'll get there because that's what 2003, 2004, I think he gets that thing.
Oh, way earlier.
Is it way earlier?
Yeah,
Huh.
I'm pretty sure. He
Well, I
he
was
had the
gonna
hook
go- I
hand
was-
in the mid '90s. He got the water hand in the late '90s, I think.
I was actually gonna
We can-
go
we can
even
look that
further
up.
back as to why Black Manta and Aquaman hate each other.
So
Yeah.
do we want to start getting to his hand or?
we will. Just let me
All
let
right.
me finish this thought before I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
'Cause I will forget. It's revealed that that Black Manta has autism.
Really?
Yeah. So Aquaman cures him.
Wait, what?
They team up for a little bit, and then Black Manta heel turns on him again, and he's like, why would you do this? Like I cured you of the thing that's been ailing you. He's like, yeah, but I'm evil. Like I still hate you. Like that's not gonna change. Like you.
I
just
don't want to feel good. I want to feel evil.
you just made me more deadly. Like
Oh, ironically enough, speaking of Sam Witwer from our last episode, he does the
Ooh.
voice of Orm in the Throne of Atlantis movie.
that's beautiful.
I love it.
Nice.
That guy's
Love it.
fantastic.
He is really good.
I do love former movie trivia schmodown Star Wars
How did-
champion Sam Witwer.
How did Aquaman cure autism? Did he give him like an anti-vaccine?
No, he literally just water bearer hand him.
That Warbearer
Ah.
hand gave him a lot of magical powers.
Yeah, that thing was just like undefined magic powers.
Yes.
All right. So
It really was.
So can we go into the hand? How does Aquaman lose his hand? Does he lose it dueling his father or something?
Well, hold on. Before we go into that, I want to mention one more horrible thing that Black Manta did.
Dare you.
Black Manta is the reason that Aquaman's son is dead.
Ooh, yeah, we can just because that directly relates to his hands. Let's go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
In a storyline a long time ago, I don't even know how long ago it was. I just remember that this was a major event in Aquaman's life. He's
1993.
married Mara, which is one of the people from that elemental world. At that point, she was just like a regular Atlantean, though they've retconned her to make her more powerful. Because she's
also a
awesome.
redheaded hottie.
Yes, also true. And she gives birth to Aquaman's son. I don't remember the name. All I remember is this is a child that he has, but because of the physiology, he doesn't have that ability to breathe out of water and underwater. Black Manta kidnaps the kid and puts him in like a bubble, and the kid dies of asphyxiation. Like he doesn't because he isn't underwater. He dies of asphyxiation. He can't breathe.
Wow, that's an asshole move.
Yeah.
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 You
Yeah.
could
Kind of
seriously
a jerk.
is this asphyxiation? Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't just do it the old fashioned way or something?
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
No, he had
No.
to make him suffer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
That's pretty
Right?
screwed
Yeah.
up.
Black
Exactly.
Manta's a dick.
yeah, really.
Black Manta's a mega dick. I'm sorry.
So he throws plastic bags in the ocean, he kills Aquaman's father, and then he murders his son.
Black Manta hates Aquaman so much.
Yeah.
Why?
He genetically modified himself to give himself gills just so he could breathe underwater to fight Aquaman more often.
But like
Pretty much.
why do they I still don't get it. Why do they start hating each other so like
Because he killed his dad.
much?
He was like,
No.
your dad killed my dad, so I killed your dad. And he's like, well, you killed my dad, so I'm gonna kill you.
But wait. Oh god, I'm getting all confused now. I thought Aquaman's father was having a heart attack. Black
Matt.
Manta tried to save him.
Matt, it's all about killing dads.
All I think now is that Darth Vader quote, I killed many dads.
Gotta kill your dad.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
god.
Like,
really bad.
that's
It's
why
really bad.
It's why Ocean Master isn't his arch villain, because Ocean Master in a lot of ways should be,
Right.
but Ocean Master never got as personal as Black Manta.
I mean, and you think he would because he's his brother, but like the problem is that he's just a Kawasaki Ocean Master 3000. Like he's and nobody sat on a jet ski. Like
I'm pretty sure the Kawasaki Ocean Master is the jet ski Vanilla Ice used when he became a professional jet skier for that brief stint in the 90s.
wait, did that happen?
He's after his music career tanked, he became a professional jet skier.
That's the
Yeah,
that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Black Mantis.
Oh no. God, I hope he figures out a way to make a cameo in that movie. Or they make it as cool as Ice too.
What about
Oh,
when
that
they
movie exists.
What about Ice 9? I'm sorry, that's just a chemical formula.
Oh my god,
I
Matt! I
apologize.
know what movie you're talking about, and I oh my god, I feel physically ill now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so bad.
But to you know what else isn't ridiculously 90s? Aquaman's water bearer hand, originally published 2003.
Ooh.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
It took that long? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first, how does he lose his hand?
Paulo, do you want to jump on that?
No, you can you take that 100%.
God damn it. So as far as I can remember, because his kid's dead, right?
Yes.
Right.
Right. So I think what Paulo failed to mention is that while his kid was in this bubble,
Mhm.
I want to say Black Manta had him like chained up to something, and he made him
Okay.
watch. If I remember correctly, like he made him watch his son. You know, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Asphyxiate?
Thank you. He made him watch his kid asphyxiate to death. So like if I remember right, in a fit of rage, he ends up just like cutting his own hand off to get it, like to get
I don't
out.
think that.
No, it's not what happened.
I don't remember.
No, I do remember. He had this villain that stole his ability to communicate with ocean life.
Okay.
And basically shoved his arm into the water and made piranhas eat his hand off.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to remember. It was a villain named after Homer's The Odyssey.
Bart?
Odysseus?
No. A Rock in a Hard Place.
Dwayne Johnson.
Thank you.
That was terrible.
Charybdis.
I would never have guessed that.
Sure.
Yeah, he had an enemy called Charybdis, who basically just he stole his ability to command ocean wildlife and literally made piranha eat his hand off. Which now, granted, I don't understand how that works. He's supposed to be invulnerable, and I don't understand how a bulletproof man gets his hand eaten off by piranhas. But comic books are comic books.
I mean, Doug, I don't understand how Black Panther can beat Silver Surfer by throwing him into a hammerlock, but he did.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
and
boy.
Spider-Man beat Firelord by webbing his hands up and beating him to death.
Yeah.
Not to death, but yeah, the comic books don't make sense sometimes.
All right, so the weasel's ripped Aquaman's flesh. He loses his hand, and then what happens next? He gets like I've seen pictures of him. He's got like a hook or something like that.
Yeah, he's got like a harpoon hand. Yeah,
That's it. Yeah. So I guess that's stuck. Him having lost his hand.
yeah.
So
And for a while, he just had that hook.
all right, so he's Captain Hook for a bit. I was afraid you're going to tell me a bad guy chopped off his hand and threw it at an alligator.
Oh man, I really wish Aquaman was just Chubbs now.
Rufio. Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
Right. Okay. So what's this aqua hand?
It is
God,
a hand
Aquaman.
made out of magic water that does magic things, and if the plot called for it, his water hand could do it.
Essentially.
I've heard dumber things.
No, it's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah,
But I just in researching what you guys are just talking about, I ran into something else. You guys do remember that there's a second Aquaman, right?
Yes. Yeah. So
On New Earth.
no,
so
I'm blanking.
if this is the guy you're talking about,
Arthur Joseph Curry.
Yes. Okay. So after 52, there was a 1 year later jump. No. I'm sorry. After Infinite Crisis, which is a big DC crossover, there was once they dropped you back and it just like once that story was over.
Right, because then they had 1 year later, and then they had the 52 countdown.
Yeah. So once Infinite Crisis was over, all the DC comics were stamped with 1 year later, which so like it was 1 year after Infinite Crisis. Then they came out with 52
to kind of fill in those gaps. At least that was the original.
Right.
That was the original plan. With Aquaman 1 year later, they just drop you with they just drop you into, hey, here's this human Arthur Joseph Curry. He's Aquaman. He's hanging out with King Shark and some other dude, and also he's got a creepy looking tentacle hobo guy hanging out with him.
If you don't know who King Shark is, he is a giant shark man.
I'm fucking Googling this. Like Street Sharks?
Yeah, like
Yes.
he is a street shark.
Yeah.
Except
You're
an actual
fucking-
shark.
Dude, I'm dead serious. Aquaman 1 year later is Jossum. Like,
Oh.
it's real good. It's real good.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he really does look like a street shark.
Yeah. We can throw a link in the description there to like King Shark and all his Jossum.
No. Let's throw the link to the Street Sharks Wikipedia page.
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't surprise me if that has a dedicated fan base or something like that.
What, Street Sharks?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to.
It's-
Dude, I love Street Sharks. as a
Like,
kid.
what was that? Like Martian, like rats from
Biker
or
mice
some-
from Mars.
Biker
How
mice from
dare
Mars?
you.
Yeah.
Or are you thinking of Butt Ugly Martians?
No.
How dare you?
Biker mice from Mars. I'm saying, like, they have a dedicated fan base. Everything has a dedicated fan base.
SWAT cats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That show was awesome.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, in any case, so going back to
Anyways.
Aquaman and the second Aquaman. So, at some point in the
Who dares?
At some point in the history of the DC, pretty much universe in this whole situation, the city of San Diego, part of it
Oh.
falls into the ocean.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say the whole city falls into the ocean.
It's not the whole city; it's like a big
No?
portion of it that
I don't
falls into
remember.
the city, and that pretty much becomes
Sub Diego.
yeah, it becomes Sub Diego where the survivors live.
How did they
and it
survive? They're underwater.
They've all grown gills.
Why?
magic.
God,
Magic,
no.
man, magic.
Say no more. Say no more.
Was it magic? I thought it was like a some kind of like biochemical warfare.
Was it?
Give me 1 second.
I'm sorry,
sci-fi
man.
magic.
I'm looking at these King Shark pictures right now.
He's the-
They're I'm stuck on this because the one picture, the first picture that comes up, he's portrayed as being like a hammerhead, so his eyes are like shooting out, to his left and right. And he's sitting down reading a book, but the book is in front of his face, but his eyes are looking the other way. How the fuck does that work?
Oh, King Shark. King Shark is one of the greatest freaking characters in DC Universe because he's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb because he's portrayed a lot of different ways. So, like, in some is exactly what you see. He's like a hammerhead where he's reading. I'm looking at the picture that you're talking about right now. But then,
Right, it's retarded.
yeah, no, it's really dumb. And then in other pictures, he's a giant great white with like man legs and and giant like bodybuilder arms. Like he's huge. And then
you
God,
ever watch those those sci-fi movies about the sharks?
All of them. They're all great.
Yeah, it looks like he came out of one of those.
Sharktopus.
Yeah, like Megalodon
Cybershark.
or Mega.
Yeah.
also
or-
somehow
the Meg.
this man has fought the Flash on the TV show. By the way,
Wait, what?
King Shark?
I'm sorry, what?
yeah,
now?
King Shark was featured on the Flash on the TV show.
Hopefully he didn't fare well because he's a shark and the Flash is the Flash.
No, he fared fairly well actually. He's had to fight him twice. The Flash is actually quite scared of King Shark.
Why? Because he's a shark with legs.
Yes.
That's fair. 'Cause that's terrifying.
No, it's not.
No.
He's the Flash.
Excuse you. Sharks have dead, soulless eyes. That's terrifying.
He's-
It is
Listen,
terrifying. If you can't move fast enough
Have-
for their statue.
Have you not seen Shark Week, dude? They're made out of all cartilage, bro.
That has no bearing on anything.
It has
But I
every bearing
appreciate-
on everything.
Dude, sharks are terrifying.
Dude, do you know how big of a boat you need to fight a shark?
Dude, a bigger one. Like seriously, whatever boat you have, get a bigger one.
No, like I'm serious. He's a
I'm
giant.
serious too, Paulo. Get a bigger boat.
He's a giant walking shark on land. Like he's
I
bigger than the
know.
Flash and could catch him.
Why does he have
No.
nipples?
Okay, he's bigger than the Flash. Why can he catch him? He's the Flash.
Why does he have nipples? Because you can milk a shark man.
All right. So going back to Arthur Joseph Curry, the second Aquaman.
Who hangs out with the Dweller from the Deep? That's the that's the weird Cthulhu looking tentacled hobo man.
Yes. Who I mean, I guess we have to spoil this, right?
Well,
Like,
we can get there in a second. Hold on.
Yeah. okay.
Is he played by Alan Moore?
Oh, he should have been. They really missed the
Alan
boat.
Moore doesn't play.
It
Alan
could
Moore
work.
is. I love the fact that like, or so Alan Moore and Grant Morrison don't like each other.
What?
Oh, actually,
Oh, they
no.
hate each
Please
other.
tell me. No, please tell me more
No, no,
about
no, no.
this.
Okay, so the two of them hate each other, right? And the reason
I did not know
No,
that.
no,
Please go ahead.
So the reason Alan Moore and Grant Morrison hate each other is because they both believe in magic, but
That is true.
but-
I did know
but-
that.
it's opposing sides of magic. Like they don't believe in the same magic, so they hate each other for it.
These are
That
real
is
people.
incredible.
These are real people.
These are real people.
These are real comic book writers. Grant Morrison's getting a bunch of TV shows now. Like,
And what's great is they're both two of the best comic book writers, and they are both crazy as fuck. And apparently, they hate each other for being opposite polar crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay.
I like how it went from shark nipples to Grant Morrison and Alan Moore hating each other.
All
they
of
are
that's
both.
relevant.
They're both nipples, just one's
It's all
left side, one's
relevant.
right side.
Okay, it's all relevant. Speaking of relevant, you know how we were just talking about how the people of Sub Diego were able to grow gills and breathe?
Yes.
I am familiar.
Professor or Dr. Anton Geist, he's the creator of the serum, which gave the population's ability to breathe underwater.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. You come to find out that he's the guy that caused Sub Diego to submerge.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sub
say.
Diego.
I was gonna say when you said the person who caused Sub Diego too, I was gonna say to sub.
How did you know? Yeah,
God.
so like the tone of that comic was kind of neat because they tried to go the sword and sorcery route with them again. So Dr. Anton Geist was the doctor who created the serum that gave everybody their ability to breathe underwater.
And it turns out that he's the one who caused that.
Yeah. So,
Caused the
Yeah.
so what I
around.
was saying is the tone of that book though was very much a sword and sorcery kind of thing. And I want to say that they had tried to do that with Aquaman in like 93 maybe 92
Yeah,
or like 89
give
or
him-
something. Like they,
Yeah, to give him a hook, like, and not the whole can.
Oh no, I'm saying
Oh,
even
like-
before that, like Aquaman had this like sweet like, you know that because it's not so much the Dixie cup, you know those like those paper cups.
Yeah.
And like they're white and they got like the like the blue and the purple through them. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Oh,
pretty much-
that '80s cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much has that as a costume.
Wait,
Oh
what?
my
Yeah.
God, yeah, those are terrible.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous.
yeah.
Let me see if I can't find a.
Yeah, please
an
do.
image.
But they, I was not actually being like sarcastic when I said they needed to give Aquaman a hook, and I know how that would sound because he had the hook hand, but like Aquaman is not a character I read very much growing up, and I had access to pretty much every comic book growing up, but
Go on.
I wasn't fascinated with the undersea world. You know what I mean? I didn't want to read Aquaman because I didn't give a shit about under the ocean bullshit.
It's fair.
I mean, he is kind of portrayed as being lame in the general public. I mean,
yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
episode of Dexter's Lab where he gains the ability to talk to fish, and he starts talking to a fish, and if he's like, "I command you to do this," and the fish is like, "My name's Bob."
It's a kid,
Oh
no, this-
God.
So yeah, so we'll end up linking a or we'll end up linking a picture to that Aquaman costume I was just
Mm.
talking about.
That perm though.
in the description probably.
That
What I was
perm
going
is
to say, though,
insane.
What's kind of beautiful about the character though, because there's been a bunch of different portrayals and a bunch of different voice actors doing a very good job with this character, but every time they try to double down and make him a badass, like especially in the comics, like what we've been talking about, like the character itself is pretty interesting. Here's the problem though, you're just gonna think of the Super Friends, right?
Yeah, that's my problem.
Exactly. So here, like Batman Brave and the Bold did the smartest thing you could possibly do with a character like Aquaman. You
Oh,
you
yeah.
double down.
On the
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, you just double down on
Yeah.
the fact that he talks to fish. Like
Aquaman in Brave and the Bold is the best character on Brave and the
he's
Bold.
voiced by John DiMaggio. He's just
Oh,
this big,
perfect.
over the top, ridiculous guy. Like think Thor from the Marvel movies, but more boisterous.
And dumber as hell.
Yeah,
No.
it's fantastic.
No,
I'm
he is so good in that
I'm
show.
sorry. If we're talking Batman Brave and the Bold, no one is better.
sorry.
Magic Maestro.
Conan. Oh, I thought you were going to say Conan's Riddler.
No, Conan's Riddler was in the
Was in,
Lego
the-
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
He
I'm
only,
so
he only
sorry.
had like 2 lines, but they were fucking hilarious.
Well, Conan's hilarious.
Yeah.
But continue. You were going to say
No,
about Aquaman?
this
My
perm though
friend
is
Paolo?
incredible.
Yeah, it's
This
so
perm
good.
is next level, like just amazing. No, but go.
Who's got the better '90s haircut? That perm on Aquaman, or Superman's mullet? Go right now.
Superman's mullet.
Ooh,
Superman's
Superman's
mullet.
mullet is late 80s, early 90s. Even though it happened in the 90s, that is the
Dude.
time period that haircut was accepted.
dude, he died fighting a bone monster, and then when he came back to life,
Had a
he had a
mullet.
sweet mullet.
He had a mullet, super mullet, if you will. You
That-
can't.
Yeah.
Is it even a mullet? Because he still had.
What do we want to call this? Aquaperm?
Ooh.
Aquaperm.
Ooh.
No.
Would you call it a wipeout?
Oh,
that is
God.
that is terrible. Why?
That's horrible.
Ooh.
But no, in all seriousness, though, I think Ed hit it on the nose. Is where this character's got some really interesting things that have happened to him throughout his history. I feel like there's so much that just kind of we haven't touched on because
Yeah.
it'll just add to the ridiculousness of
Yeah, I mean,
like the running joke that he's everybody they try to make him into a badass. Like if you have seen the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, he's the Aquaman he's great, but he's got the hook hand,
Yeah.
and he's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
He's kind of dumb.
He's not as dumb as he was in Brave and the Bold, though.
No, I
Well,
mean,
no,
no,
'cause
I don't think
there's-
anybody can do it that dumb.
Everything was kind of dumb and Brave and the Bold, okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, come on, Aquaman was extra dumb in that.
Well, no, there's a scene in Justice League when Aquaman is playing chess against Amazo.
Against
Remind
Amazo?
me again.
Yeah. They're
Why
they're
is he playing against a villain?
So there was that one Amazo episode where
Mhm.
we're like
Yes.
he was a bad guy. And
Yes,
then
I know what you're talking about.
They end up like trying to rehabilitate him. So he's hanging out with Dr. Fate.
I'd forgotten that.
So yeah, he's just chilling in like Fate's tower, and they're like, hey, let's make sure Amazo is like not on this plane of existence because whoever we're fighting, like if he gets a hold of Amazo, everybody's screwed.
Right.
So they're like, hey, Aquaman, there's not a lot of water around here. Let's go hang out with Amazo, play some chess, be real cool.
Yeah,
We
Aquaman.
need somebody. Yeah, we need somebody
Aquaman-
who cannot play chess to play Amazo in chess, so he doesn't adapt.
Right. No, but I
find
do
him
like.
Go ahead,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
man. No, go ahead.
No. What I was gonna say is just to compound your point is that like Aquaman is a really interesting character, but I do like that they're going the Thor route with him for the movies. Like they casted Jason Momoa, who's just playing him. He's just playing a ridiculous version of himself. Like they're doubling down on just like this douchey like Aquabro. Like I really wish they just would throw like a visor on him. Like really double down on like the mesh shirt and like throw him like a case of Coors. Like he can just like just walk around with like the
Backwards visor.
yeah. Walk around with the backwards visor. You know, give him the bottle of JD in one hand, like a 6-pack of Coors in the other. Like
give him the Bret Hart glasses.
give him the Bret Hart glasses. Have him throw a frisbee around. Like I just want douchey Aqua, bro.
No, and honestly, the trailers, if you've seen them, the trailers look a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like the movie feels like it's so much more fun, and they double down on the fact that it doesn't take place in like a dark city. It doesn't take place like even the scenes underwater feel alive. Like they do
so.
the opposite of what they've done with the Murderverse, which is double down on this
Not
dark
Murderverse.
feeling. Well, no. Let me be honest here. Like you saw some of the stuff that happens in there. Like Black Manta's eye beams, which like the eye lasers that he has, clearly can freaking disintegrate someone. Clearly can disintegrate somebody. But even him, even the costume that they made him, it's like this very bright red eyes and the black. Just for whatever reason, it's such a contrast that it gives it vibrance.
Oh yeah, it pops. Like,
They need that because they have ruined their film universe so far.
Yeah,
I, mean, I would even argue like to compound again, but and I keep saying this, but to talk like just to compound what Paulo's saying, I'd even say Suicide Squad does, at least for the first 40 minutes, does the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
These colors are just popping all over the place. These
Yeah, it's like it was almost not terrible until it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly. So there are people that are begging for the Snyder cut of Justice League. I'm like, can we get a David Goyer cut of Suicide Squad? Because there's a good version of that movie somewhere, and I don't know where it's definitely on the cutting room floor, but there's a good version of that movie somewhere.
I know that's it. Like I did not hate that movie from the beginning. I think the minute it turned into your typical "let's fight the giant thing in the sky"
Oh, dude, the
situation,
sky, like the sky opened up. There was a sky
I think
beam.
I saw a good joke posted about DC movies the other day. All right, I think it sums it up great. It says Thanos' finger snap would have had a greater impact if they found a way to make it seem like half the audience disappeared. Punchline: apparently, only DC movies can do that.
Oh,
Da 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 da. They suck.
I
I'm
wouldn't
pretty
say
sure. Yeah, I wouldn't say that at all because there's like, and I know I'm in the minority here. But Zack Snyder is an interesting filmmaker.
No, he is. But name a DC movie that does not involve Batman that doesn't suck
Man of
ass.
Steel.
300. Oh, that's Dark Horse. Never mind.
Yeah, that was Dark Horse, and also that movie was still kind of meh. Man of Steel was okay, except for that scene with his father, where he could have saved him at light speed, where nobody would have seen him.
Yeah, but that's kind of that's not the point of that scene.
No, I do know that. I get that. But in general, I'm just sorry. DC movies are terrible.
Will you count Watchmen?
Watchmen was a B- movie from an A++++++ book.
But you just said name a DC movie that doesn't suck ass.
Okay,
We
I
just
did.
named a couple.
You named. Sorry, I knocked over my mic. Yeah, I'm sorry. You named two, and you're right. They didn't suck. They just weren't great.
Are you trying to tell me that Watchmen is just a rip-off of Marvel Zombies?
I think we should end it there, guys.
I agree.
I mean, really, I know we didn't really get down into the weeds with, or under the sea.
The seaweeds.
Yeah, the seaweeds, if you will, with Aquaman here. It's really, to be fair, he doesn't get a good enough rap.
He doesn't.
Seaweed rap. This is where I'm going with this. Come on, guys.
You mean sushi?
Spa.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, though. But to conclude, though, so yeah, he's
In
kind of like a
conclusion,
Shazam.
Actually, no. In a lot of ways, he is. He does not have a lot of solo great stories, but he's important to the universe.
You know what? Because I was just gonna say that, like, oh no, he does have a bunch of stories, but like they end up spilling over into a bunch of other bigger like Justice League stories.
Yep.
Like we were talking before about the Dweller of the Deep. Turns out that's Aquaman. He ends up, from what I remember, the water bearer hand just consumes him or something.
No, he
And-
actually sacrifices himself to it, so that way he can bring up Sub Diego,
Right. Okay.
and he becomes a dweller of the deep. He becomes like this
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
tentacle monster.
Right. I remember that being a thing. I remember there's like there's a search for his hand because he ends up finding, like, they end up finding the bones of his hand, and they're magically imbued now.
That's
And
right.
They end up using that for a Justice League story. The search for Aquaman in general, because he was dead for a little while. He was thought to be dead sometime in like the mid '90s.
Yeah, because that was when he destroyed the Imperiex probe.
Right. So yeah, so he was dead, or thought to be dead, and the Justice League went looking for him, and I think that kicked off the Obsidian Age storyline.
Yeah.
That was a good
was
Grant
also-
Morrison run in JLA. Yeah.
Which I think Morrison was off that book at that point. I think that might have been Mark Waid.
It could have been. I
But that
can't
was-
say either way. It was still part of the great JLA run. though,
Yeah. There
which
was
is
there was a
I'm sorry.
gangbuster
The
JLA run from like
the 90s
98.
JLA. Yeah, the 90s JLA run was better than any JLA run I think there's ever been.
All right.
I'd agree with
So
you.
in summation, you either die a hero or
Or you
live long enough.
to become Aquaman.
God
We
damn
did it,
it!
guys.
God damn it! You took it from me.
I stole your thunder. Shazam!
All right, guys. This has been the Layman's Guide to the Multiverse. We'll see you guys next week.
If
you have questions, a topic you would like us to cover, or wish to simply tell us all the facts we screwed up, feel free to contact us at Layman's Guide to the Multiverse at gmail.com. Also, feel free to visit our website at laymansguidetothemultiverse.com. Our sexy intro music was Jellyfish in Space by Kevin MacLeod of Incomtech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by 3.0. Our intermission argument music was Crinoline Dreams, but also by Kevin MacLeod of Incomtech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0. And lastly, our outro music is Miami Nights Extended Theme by Kevin MacLeod of Incomtech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0.